So here is Mini Jonathan. Mini Jonathan. Hello, Jonathan. Is your name Jonathan as well? Hmm? Is it? Hello, mister. Maybe I should turn the camera round, hey? Is that better? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, there's an even smaller Jonathan in here as well somewhere, but I'm not sure where he is at the moment. But this one is coming out to say hello. Hello, mister. You're getting excited because you're on video now. You wouldn't speak to me before. Hmm? Okay then. Okay then. Hello. Hello. You're getting brave. Hmm? You are. You're getting brave. Where is your classmate? Hmm? Where has he gone, the little one? Where is baby Torty? Maybe he's gone inside the hen house. Oh, he's definitely more active than I've seen him so far. But there is a baby one in here somewhere as well. Some eggs in there. Could have had those for breakfast. It's the hen house. So as I was saying, we're at the Lazy Lapa, which is near Michaelisburg. Luckily still in Gauteng because we are on level 4 lockdown now because of the surge of cases here, and the province is actually closed, so nobody can go out or into Gauteng at the moment. So I don't know how much my previous video made sense. So I'll just open the gate the wrong way again. I don't know where baby tortoise has gone. I'd like to show you baby tortoise. But yeah, this is the random Lazy Lapa. I came here to be lazy because I'm needing to recover from the COVID properly, get my energy levels back, and I needed to be away from the beeping combis. And this is a place where you can clearly leave your belongings hanging around in a tree, which is more like where I'm from, and it will still be there next year. So this is the place. It's a big farmhouse. So he's drinking his coffee, and I really don't know how much of my previous video cut off, but I'm trying again. So this is the actual Lapa area, and so I was just wanting to tell you an update on I needed to get away to recover. So I was sick with COVID, and I've never been so sick in all my life. I've never coughed that much. I had a wet cough. I know most people with COVID have the dry cough, but mine was a wet cough, and I just couldn't cough stuff up, and I ended up having such a high fever that I took paracetamol for far longer than you're supposed to, and it was just so horrible. I never want to be that sick again. But so it's left me a bit breathless and tired, and There are some bunnies over there. You see the bunnies? And yeah, it took a lot out of me, and not being able to breathe properly is quite scary as well. So very interesting furniture around here. There's a little fish in the tree. Dry area. And we collect the wood from outside where all of the trees are. The grounds. It's windy today. A bit of wind. Yeah, it took me 15 days to be able to actually get out of bed. And then 17 days to get up and do something. And the first thing I did was my washing, because by then it was overflowing. And then that took it right out of me again. I had to go back to bed, and just having no energy at all for such a long time is not great. But it was scary. But as I was saying, you can't go to the clinic or hospital if you have the symptoms for advice or anything, so you have to phone ahead and tell them, and then you send somebody else. So I sent Tessie in for me, but then they told him that they couldn't give him anything for me because they needed to see me, but they can't see me because I'm not allowed in. So you see the logic lack of there. This is a pool that I won't be using this time of year, but maybe if we come back in summertime, and it might be quite good. So yeah, this is the farmhouse. It really is the most quirky, interesting, weird and wonderful place I've stayed at in my entire life. And it's not far, as I said, from Johannesburg. Tortoises, rabbits, chickens, monkeys. The monkeys came down and smashed up our plates yesterday. We went for a walk. We accidentally left one plate outside, and it came down. They came down looking for food, and they run away with it into the trees. And so the monkeys caused a bit of mayhem around here. But I like all animals, as you can imagine. so I'll show you inside, just in case my other video didn't come out properly. Inside the house, I basically used a lot of herbs from the garden. I took anything basically to make myself feel a bit better. I steamed the room with eucalyptus and lengana and pelargonium and anything that I could find to steam the room, because the air is very dry here as well, and it's winter time. It's Johannesburg, so we're 1,700 meters in altitude, so the air is dry and it's polluted and it's hard to breathe normally. So yeah, this has made it even harder, I think, for people in this area maybe. So the mild illness that we've got, we're feeling it more as maybe moderate illness because of the type of air and the altitude here maybe, and the dryness of the air. I mean, it's below 10% humidity some days, so that's really bad for recovering from COVID. But I was so ill. I had really bad fever, as I said, and I took far more paracetamol than I should have done. I also had antibiotics, which I did give Ceci, but I don't think I had a secondary lung infection, but who knows. I took them anyway, just in case. I know they've been telling people not to, but I was desperate, and I didn't want a secondary lung infection that I could potentially then die from. So yeah, the reason why I came here actually was because of this small unexciting thing in the corner here, a wood burning stove. I really missed my wood burning stove, so I thought I need to go somewhere in the bush where there is a stove indoors and I can sit next to it and be cozy. So that's what we've been doing, literally sitting next to it here. And it's huge, as you can see. The place is huge, so it takes a lot of wood in that tiny stove to heat it up. They should probably install a bigger one. But so no, I love the stove. So yeah, the COVID, I think I came down with it from, it must have been from one of my students. It could only have been from one of my students, because all of their schools had been closed due to COVID as well. There were many cases in the teachers, and I always wore my mask. I was very aware of always the importance of wearing the mask, and I'm so glad I did now, because the last person I taught, Zakele, he lives with his grandparents, and of course the elderly people are much more at risk. Don't know if you can see the rabbits. I've tried to zoom in on them. See the randomness. And Brenda makes mosaics, so there's kind of mosaics all over the floor, running about the place. And this is the bedroom. So, as I said, I had every symptom that it was possible to have. I had the diarrhea as well, which I thought was just my problem to start with, that I always get. But then I realised it was part of probably the Delta strain that's circulating in Gauteng right now. So yeah, I thought I would show you around. I did, I had to wash everything afterwards. I was so worried that I was going to spread it around, but and I'm so relieved to feel human again after all that time just, in bed, feeling like death, and having to lie on my stomach so that I could give my chest a rest. And my lovely friend in Malaysia, Claire, was sending me advice, and because there's a lot of problems with blood clots with this COVID, so especially with the Delta strain. So yeah, she was giving me advice because she was very poorly. She is asthmatic, and she was actually in Malaysia and was in hospital with it, and has oxygen at home as well. So yeah, she was quite worried about me, but so at least I had Claire too. I couldn't go to the clinic for anything, but at least I had Claire. So yeah, the random things in this place. You can definitely tell artists have been involved here. But yeah, so he had to do so much work. He had to mix the herbs, he had to make the teas. I had no appetite at all. I lost a lot of weight, as I said, unfortunately not enough. And yeah, he had to mix everything. I'm just so tired still, sorry. But this is supposed to be kind of a time off, I guess, but time out for recovery. I do have a lot to go back to, but mainly because I've missed so much, because I was sick for so long. And already my lungs are damaged because of the having the whooping cough as a child. So I already had damaged lungs. So it hit me really hard, I have to say, harder than I thought it would. Or either that or the mild illness is, my body thinks it's more severe than mild illness, but I've never had a mild illness like that before. I've had many mild illnesses, but if that was a mild illness, then then my body is not great at defeating pathogens anymore. I am looking forward, as I said, to going back to psychology, because I do need some help now with my emotions. Have been all over the place. That's the first aid kit. Yeah, my emotions have been all over the place. and I'm like difficulty controlling them. Sorry. So I'm just showing you all the randomness that there is to see in this place, and the beautiful art as well. This is the bathroom, as you can see. It's the bath. There's even perfumes here. Who leaves perfumes in their guest house? Imagine. So, yeah, amazing. But, yeah. So we're all a bit on edge at the moment. We don't know what to expect, but I'm giving my body time to recover, or trying to give my body time to recover. Anyway, I'm not sure if I'm doing a very good job of it, but hello. But I'm trying, because I never, ever want to experience anything like that again. I had to go and wait, because there was nowhere that would take me for testing. I had to go, and I didn't know whether I had it or not, so it was quite worrying. So I had to go to an NGO that was offering testing down the road from us. So I had to walk there, and it was tough going. I would collapse on the way. I would collapse on the way back. What they did here was they didn't do the nasopharyngeal swab. They did just the back of the throat swab, which was very unpleasant, I have to say. It stimulates the gag reflex, which, as you can imagine, is not nice. So I cried like a baby, but and then a couple of days later my test came back via SMS. It was positive, so at least then I knew. It was the fact that I knew for sure, so that was helpful. But then I've had to basically just use herbs, the herbs that I know about, and paracetamol, take the antibiotics. I've also taken a lot of B vitamins as well, because my body does need the B vitamins, and now I'm realising how much my body missed the vitamin D, as the vitamin D is very important as well for, vitamin D is very important for the immune system, and I hadn't been out in the sun for all that time I'd been in the bed, so like nearly 3 weeks of being in a bed. So I've been trying to have some sun now, sit in the sun, and yeah, so I've just been trying to get more vitamin D into my body. It's also good mentally for the mind. Here's that handbag again. See, it's still there on the tree. And the more you look, the more you find. So we went out to collect wood to make the fire yesterday. We brought quite a lot of wood because it's extremely dry here, so it burns very quickly, very, very quickly. A lot of it is also rotted, so that burns even quicker. But we were given an axe because there's a tree at the corner that's been fallen over, so they need that one bringing down, so we did offer to do that. So this is at the gate. And I might go out for a short walk in the bush in a while, I think. Just to wander locally in the bush, collect a bit more wood for tonight, and then it's back to Soweto tomorrow and straight back to